took copious notes on Noah Syndergaard. And I didn't go past the 5th inning, not because I knew that they were going to have some thunderstorm and lightning and all that, but just because I didn't see him making it past the 5th inning. He had 9-10 days off. Rob Thompson counted it as 9. Thor himself, Noah Syndergaard, counted it as 10 days between starts. So he had a long layoff. And he went out there, and you know what? He was throwing a 95-mile-per-hour sinker, a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. He was throwing an 89-mile-per-hour changeup. He was throwing sliders in there. He went out there, and I thought he looked good for the most part. What was wild to me was that in his start, where technically it's, a complete game, he goes out there, pitches 5 innings, throws 79 pitches, and gives up a season-high 11 hits in those 5 innings. Watching this game play out, of those 11 hits, it felt like maybe 2 were really squared up and hit on the screws, if you will. Everything else was away and a blooper, away and a blooper, away and one that was just like a chip shot into right field or a chip shot to center field. That's what it seemed like. There was a couple of balls that were absolutely squared up, but of the 11 hits, I would say for the most part, he kept guys off balance. There were a couple of just good examples of fine hitting by the Nationals, just trying to put the bat on the baseball, going with the pitch. But it seemed like the vast majority of his pitches were to the outside, going away, away, away. Big looping 12-6 curveball he was throwing yesterday. It gave me a little bit of hope. It did remind me, and they were talking about this last night, it did remind me that Noah Syndergaard has no pickoff move. That guys will just steal base. When Maikel Franco is stealing a base on you, you know you got a bit of a problem. And you know who was really watching it last night in the booth was John Kruk. John Kruk, every time somebody inched off the base pad, or inched off the base to take a lead just a little bit more than normal, you could hear Kruk get a little, get him. You can get him. Get him. He said, get him. Like you could tell he was on edge, trying to see if Noah Syndergaard would be able to pick off somebody because they were taking liberties last night. Like me in my beer league softball games, taking liberties last night. And no, there was no move. There was a couple of times when Noah Syndergaard was looking at guys back, and that was it. There was no real move to try to get somebody off the base paths. Maikel Franco later ended up scoring. Phillies went down in this ball game 1-0. But it seemed like every single time, it didn't seem like, but it was every single time you saw struggles from Noah Syndergaard, whether it was 19 pitches in his first inning, 17 pitches in his in his second inning, 19 pitches in his third inning, and then a 9-pitch fourth inning. That's all right. Settled in before he started to get got to in that 5th inning. But every time there were struggles, the Phillies were able to come back and give Noah Syndergaard a little bit of breathing room. The perfect example of that, Rhys Hoskins in the second inning goes up to the plate, in the first inning, goes up to the plate, hits a home run to tie the score at 1-1. Then the third inning, Rhys Hoskins ties the score at 2-2. Then coming up in the third inning, Alec Boehm follows that Hoskins RBI single with a 3-run bomb to left field. That's what you want to see from Alec Boehm, keeping that hot bat going. And then I know he came close to a home run, Nick Castellanos, yesterday. I know there was a couple of examples of him putting some good wood on the baseball in his 2 at-bats. The first one I thought was, oh my goodness, this one's gone. Second one, not so much. But Nick Castellanos' throw in the 5th inning, was exactly what the Phillies needed. I didn't know that the weather was going to be terrible. I mean, you just had a wild pitch. JT Realmuto wasn't able to block a pitch in the dirt from Noah Syndergaard, but you just had that wild pitch. A run scores on it. Phillies are only up 5-4. You have a runner on third base for the Washington Nationals. You have 1 out. You think there's a runner on second and third, and there's 1 out. You're in trouble. You got the fly ball to Nick Castellanos, and I'm watching that ball in the air, and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way they send him. There's no way they try to score on this. There's no way. This is the sacrifice fly the Washington Nationals are really waiting for. And sure enough, it was. They send the runner. Nick Castellanos bombs it in there to first to the home plate, and the next thing you know, the Phillies are walking off the field, and that was it. Phillies win the ball game after that. A game-saving throw. Wasn't a game-winning home run like it was in Atlanta the other day. No. It was a game-saving throw by Nick Castellanos, and how great was that?